and beautiful products and great gift ideas. Tonight we're excited to be joined by one of the biggest superstars in the world, the one, the only Gwen Stefani. For the first time since 2017, Gwen Stefani is releasing a brand new studio album. Its name is Bouquet. We have it available as a CD or in vinyl. We don't expect the vinyl to last very long. It doesn't officially release to the market until the 15th of November, except you're watching HSN and we've got the celebrity hookup. So without further ado, let's go to Hollywood. Let's talk to Nicole with Gwen Stefani right here on HSN.
One step ahead of the pain. I keep an umbrella when there's no rain. I got my guard up when there's no war. Don't know what I'm fighting for. Give me a second, I need to swallow my tears. I promise, I promise, I promise, I want you here. I want you here. Just let me swallow my tears.
She has sold more than 100 million track units worldwide. She is a trendsetter. She is a fashion icon. She is a 3-time Grammy Award winner. Gwen Stefani is here with us at HSN to share her 5th studio album, Bouquet, which releases on November 15th. So you'll have the chance to shop for the CD, shop for the vinyl. We are in her home state of California. Gwen Stefani, oh my goodness!
This is so cool.
Oh my goodness, it's amazing.
Yes.
And a beautiful day.
Thank you for coming to me.
Yes.
This is it's an honor, and it's a beautiful day, and I can't believe we're in the future, and I have a record out. I wanted this so bad. There was this like inner voice like, make a record, and I'm like, really? Like, should I? Can I? And it took a while, but here we are.
I mean, here we are.
In full bloom.
In full bloom. The name of the album is Bouquet, which is, it's different than what you've done in the past, very metaphoric. So tell me a little bit about the inspiration of that pull to do this album.
You know, I started off kind of going through a lot of like chasing of the past. I think musically, like I wanted to make a record, and you know who was making music during the pandemic was Kelly Clarkson. I'm gonna name drop her because Kelly was texting me and she kept sending me these songs. I was like, how are you writing these? Like, she's like, no, I'm baking bread and writing songs and taking care of my children and doing homeschool. I was like, this is, and I started getting jealous because they're really good songs. I was like, I want to make some songs. It was right at the end of the pandemic. We were all in that same space and started doing some Zoom writing, which was really interesting. Like, we did it. One person in Hawaii, one person in Oklahoma, one in England, writing a song. But I think I kept kind of ended up on these like cul-de-sacs. Like, I was spinning. Like, I don't really feel like I'm where I need to be. Like, I think I want always the music to feel just super genuine, and where like I need to evolve. Like, there needs to be an evolution. And I finally wrote this song called Purple Irises, which was not actually that long ago. And at that point, I was like, okay, I landed. Like, I know this is where the music I want to make now. So
and that's a great. There's 10 songs in the album. Purple Irises is the last one, with your husband, Blake Shelton.
Yes.
3 years that you've celebrated this year, so congratulations.
Thank you.
You and him, even in 2020, speaking of COVID back then, you had 2 #1 hits on the Billboard Hot Country songs.
I know, that was unexpected.
Happy Anywhere. And I mean, tell me about, what is it like, that jumping from one genre to the next, of being in that pop, little rock, that's what I love about you, and then going to country?
You know what? I feel like genres has never been like something that I really focused on. Like, to me, there's always one constant, and that's just like the heart of like the story, and whatever that music is that wraps around that story is gonna be what it's gonna be, depending on where I'm at in my life. You know, I went from starting music in ska, which was like, you know, at that time, it was like this underground, like, music from England that nobody heard about. Like, it was like the opposite of what was popular. And so, you know, you find your identity at 15, 14 through music, and that's how I started in No Doubt. And then even within that, like, 9 years before the Tragic Kingdom came out, we were evolving like by there was bands that were local, like the Red Hot Chili Peppers or Fishbone or all these bands that were like our inspiration at that time. And we were even like within our small pond, people would be like, oh my gosh, you're selling out, you're not the same, no doubt, and this is before we even got on the radio, you know what I'm saying? So you have to evolve and keep changing in this life. And I think the genre thing is just a blessing, because especially you get so inspired by different things that are not your normal, right? Yeah. And so at the end of the day, it's all music, and it all I don't know, connects our hearts together. That's what I love about it the most. It's very powerful.
Yeah.
It's very spiritual. It's very powerful.
I mean, I think music has the power, like you're saying, to connect people. And that's why I love that you're connecting with our viewers here at HSN, having the opportunity to get this brand new album, your 5th studio album. The first song that I want to highlight with you, and our fans, by the way, you're going to get the chance to see the music video to it for the first time. No one has seen it. It's somebody else's. And I was listening to a behind the scenes that you did. Okay. And you were like, well, that song wasn't even going to be on the album. And now it's a single.
I know, that blew my mind. It's all of the songs blow my mind, because I'm no different than anyone else. I have this intention and I press that button, but it doesn't mean, or I plant the seed and it doesn't mean it's gonna grow. And I think for me with music, I just kind of receive the songs always, especially the ones that are those magical songs. It's like, okay, all of a sudden it's there and I'm like, thank you, I swear, because it's just as amazing, because I think the music actually kind of speaks back to me after lyrically as well, and it's very healing, and then when you share it and it's out there publicly, there's a whole nother level of healing that happens. But I think that I don't remember what the question was, but I was gonna say I would just keep talking and talking, but
I love that you radiate so much positivity, so much joy and love.
Thank you.
And that's what I think is so great. So somebody else's was one of your singles.
Somebody else's, yeah. Well, that was a song after, when I'm writing, I go in with different groups of people, and you kind of walk in the room and you're like, hi, it's me, I don't know you. And there was this young girl called Madison Love, who is a local songwriter. And only to find out later on that her dad used to be, he is a famous vocal coach that I'd worked with way back in the day. And we had been chatting about my life, because you talk a lot about your life, you have to get, and then you're like, okay, you're talking, and then you say something, you're like, oh, that's the song, and then that's the title, and that's the inspiration, you know what I mean? Yeah, so it's a lot of chatting, and which I'm good at. And we basically after I had left the session, she had texted me this song, an idea for a song called Somebody Else's, and I was like, not really gonna go into that, the past, that feels like the past for me. And I just kept listening, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so clever. And anyways, we ended up finishing the song in Oklahoma. I brought them all out to Oklahoma because they had heard everything about my life at that point. I was like, my dream was to bring them out there and we have a writing session, and we got to do it and finish that song together. And at the end of the day, once we cut it, it just kept rising to the top, and it was it's out of our control. You know what I mean?
When the pot is boiling on the stove, it's all right, it's just going.
It is what it is. Yeah. And I think at the end of the day, it felt really right, because sometimes you need to show the dark and show how far the love has grown, or how far the healing has gone, to be able to kind of get that contrast. And so it really makes sense that it's the first song on the record and that it is on the album at the end of the day.
It's incredible. So it is one of the singles on that album, Somebody Else's, but no one has seen the music video yet. So we are going to give you a special clip of Somebody Else's. I love that song. I really feel like it we're seeing who we first fell in love with Gwen Stefani, to married to who you are now.
That's so smart and cool, and thank you for saying that. I feel the same way, and I think what happened on this album was, it was like, you know, when you have to really fight for something, not
Yeah.
only just with like the energy of the outside world, but your own inner like voice, like, should I be doing this kind of thing? And once I figured out, okay, then I got really confident, and I was like, okay, this is the record. It doesn't even matter if anyone hears it, because I'm hearing it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, this is what I needed. And then I knew that I didn't have the kind of, it wasn't completed until I was able to go in and re-record the whole thing in Nashville with a producer that I've been wanting to work with forever. I worked with him with Blake. His name is Scott Hendricks, and he's
Right.
an absolute genius.
Well, and you also recorded that song, by the way, is somebody else's, and Swallow My Tears, with a full live band.
yeah, the whole record.
I mean, how does that feel? I mean, that has to be energizing, the experience of bringing it into reality versus just in headphones.
Well, I think like at the end of the day, like you said about it sounding like the past me versions of me, is because it's a live recording.
Yeah.
And that's how we used to do it back with No Doubt. And each individual, like, you know, player that played on it is just at the top of their game,
Yeah.
amazing, talented, and incredible, and interpreting the song in their way. And we got to all go together and listen to just like an acoustic version of the record. They didn't know anything else about it. They just hearing it for the first time, and then they just sat there and like we all went in the room together and played live, and it was just this amazing spiritual, like, hippie, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like, experience where it just felt very it just felt very intentional and artful and like pure, and it was just, we did the whole thing in 2 days. So yeah, it's a live,
my
it's
goodness.
basically a live record, you know.
Wow.
So yeah, I think that's what you're hearing, is that live sound, because
it does.
during like Love Angel Music Baby and The Sweet Escape was me trying to be like me in 2003 being 80s, right? So like that was like, okay, I want to make this like dance 80s record, which is all programmed. Like, if people don't know about making records, like there's fake drums and then there's
Right.
like real drums. And so there's a sound and an energy that gives, and this record has that more old school live like energy.
It feels like it transports you, and that's why I love that you all have the opportunity to pick up this record, ordering on hsn.com or our app. I do want to take a moment too to talk about the vinyl, because so many people love picking up vinyls, and the artwork, the photo of Gwen, look how gorgeous she is. It's exclusive only here at HSN, but also, as we pull it out, there's so much.
Ooh, I haven't even seen it yet.
The
This is so
color of the
pretty.
vinyl is exclusive here at HSN.
How gorgeous.
I mean, absolutely. The lyrics are included in here. I love that we have this opportunity of having the vinyl, because it's just, it
It's
is
so, like,
gorgeous.
it-
I mean, look at her. Come on. Look at that.
I can't believe they're doing vinyl again. Like,
It's had a resurgence. I
it's
love
got to be like a huge Christmas thing, right? With the record players.
Oh, this
like,
would be a perfect Christmas gift.
Yeah.
Oh my
Like,
goodness.
everyone's going to be buying record players again.
Oh, absolutely. They're going to love it. Speaking of, whenever you brought up Love Angel Music Baby, 20 years.
What is happening?
20 years.
We're in the
and
future.
when you were like, I was just doing my thing, just making it sound like 80s, that was your debut solo album. That's 4 times platinum. By the
Wow.
way,
Wow.
come on, Rich Girl.
It's crazy. It's
What you
hard.
waiting
It's
for?
hard to believe. Like, time just goes by so
20.
fast. It was such an amazing time period for me, because I think I felt like so absolutely clear and free at
Yeah.
that point to just do like this art record, and there was just zero pressure. Like, it was just like, I know what I want to do, you know? I can remember having this like whole style Bible of like tears from magazines, and like just all the kind of music that was inspiring me. Debbie Deb, Lisa and the Cult Jam, Prince. Like, it was just a special time for sure.
I love it. Okay, so we do have a song never heard before, and it's the title of the album, Bouquet. Do you want to give them an insider of what was the inspiration behind that song before we get to listen to it?
Of course. I was like thinking a lot, okay, because we did touch on this a little bit, but I got engaged to Blake 4 years ago.
Yeah.
That's when I started writing this record. So the record is a lot of the reflection of getting married, and so it's a very beautiful, amazing, blessed, time in my life. So we were talking about, well, we, meaning me, myself, and I, were thinking, we were talking about just like you know, a broken dream and what that is like, especially as like a little girl dreaming to be married and have a family and have babies and all these things. And when your family like breaks apart, it is literally, it's like a catastrophe. I mean, how do you scrape yourself off the floor after that? Because it's not just you, you know? And you kind of have to you have to do it, and you do it, and you kind of create this new dream. And for me, Bouquet is sort of like picking up the pieces of this new dream and putting it together, like this new idea of what a family looks like. And I think a lot of people will relate to that because it's not always what you think it's going to be like, but sometimes something bad can turn into something even better than your dream was before.
Yeah.
So I think that's what that song is.
Something so beautiful. Okay, well, without further ado, let's listen to Bouquet.
Here we go. 3, 4.
We met when my heart was broken. Thank God that yours was too. So lucky that you were going through what I was going through. And then the next thing you know, we can't leave each other alone. Kiss me and it felt like home. And that's when I said, you bring the diamond, I'll bring the promise. You bring the doubts and I'll bring the boys. You gave me everything that I wanted. I even got your last name. I got the faith and you got the patience. I drive you crazy, you drive the truck. I know that we'll be okay. We're making our own bouquet, some flowers and roses tied up in a poem. Now look at the life we made. We're making our own bouquet. I put your name on the dotted line. Was I supposed
Beautiful song. 1 out of 10 songs on this incredible album, Gwen Stefani's 5th studio album that releases on November 15th. You have the privilege of shopping for the CD, shopping for the vinyl that we have with that exclusive artwork on the front to the exclusive color of the actual vinyl. We love that Gwen Stefani is here with us. We are in her home state of California.
What?
You are a California girl, huh?
I am, but I feel like I'm an Okie as well.
Oh.
Yeah, which is
Shout out to
like-
Oklahoma, right?
That is something I don't think any of us expected. But yeah, I love going to Oklahoma. This actually looks, well, not really. The hills are a little hilly.
I was like, it's a little high up there.
It's a little bit flat there, but yeah, we have a lot of fun there too.
I love it. Okay, let's talk about The Voice. It's your 8th season, and you're the veteran now. Look at you.
Isn't that weird? How did that happen? I love it though, because the show is so special, and being able to play that role of like, I don't know, just maybe helping someone like just get a little bit better, or not even better, or even just have a little more confidence. And then when new coaches come on, like this season, Snoop Dogg, which is like, I mean, the whole reason I did it, and Michael Bublé, they are like, Reba's on, but she's been on with me before,
Right.
so it's like, but for them, like, they don't know what they're getting into, right? They think, oh, this is gonna be fun. They don't realize how real the show is. They don't realize how much an effect you can have and how inspirational it is just to be on the show and like, hear all the music, hear the interpretations of the songs through these artists that are so gifted, right? And so, I mean, Snoop was like crying the whole season because it's like there's so many things that happen that are emotional. Like people have to go home, you have to send them home. But it is a great show, and it has been a great inspiration. I do not regret doing the season because everyone on there, we all like do a little prayer circle before we go on. Everyone's so like into being there, and I'm looking forward to seeing who the winner's gonna be this time.
I cannot wait. There was this audition early on, and this girl, super cute, she sang this Christian song, Oceans, and immediately,
I know what you're talking about.
immediately you turned your chair around,
Yep.
and then you started getting emotional, and then I was getting emotional. So,
know.
I mean, talk about that prayer circle whenever you're on the set at The Voice. Tell me a little bit about what does Gwen Stefani do for herself, for that self-care and to feel good every morning you wake up?
You know, for me, It's coffee, obviously. I'm never giving that up. But even before, like I do, when I'm putting my makeup on and getting ready for a show or getting ready for the day, it's always going to be a prayer time, like a Bible study. There's I listen to lots of different inspirational people, spiritual though, and it's just, to me, I need that soul food before I can get out there and face the world and just want to be doing my purpose, guys. I just want to be doing what I'm supposed to be doing. It's you get so far into your life and you realize man, I need to get it done. I need to do the right thing at this point and just fulfill my purpose. And so I do a lot of that praying.
I love that. I love that you got so emotional. Now that song's on my tracks. I was like, oh, I love this song.
Isn't that song amazing?
It really
is
is.
so beautiful.
It's
so beautiful.
It's beautiful. And I feel like having this album too, it shows that personal growth that you've made, that journey. And I feel like that's what you're taking us on this 5th studio album, Bouquet. Is just we're watching you bloom and you're planting seeds. It's
funny because when you're making the music, it's obviously one song at a time, and one thing leads to the next. And I remember I sent the record to my mom. I was like, you want to hear my new record? And she wrote me back and she was like, okay, well, it feels like you just put your diary out there. And I was like, really? I didn't really look at it like that,
Right.
You know what I mean? But I feel like it's just a reflection of just these different angles on the last few years of my life and this crazy, unbelievably healing journey I've been on, so.
That's the power of music. Like
really
we said
is.
earlier, it brings people together, and the music that you're bringing right now just have so much depth to where we can feel it. And for some people, they're going to listen to it and it's going to meet you right where you are. And for others, it's going to take you where you want to go.
It's the best feeling in the world when you find music that is you can't stop listening, and for whatever reason it gives you that feeling. It's hard to even put it into words, but I wanted, obviously, you always want to make that record, but you never know if it's going to happen. And I feel like I've rang the bell a bunch of times already. So in some ways, I felt like going in the studio and trying to make a record, I was feeling guilty. It's almost like, oh my God, I'm gonna sit and get my nails done for 2 hours. Do I really need to be doing that? And like I said earlier, it's that inner voice that just wouldn't shut up, and I just was like, I have to do it. So now I guess the proof is gonna be how do people actually feel what I was intending them to feel when they listen to this record? And what's so fun about being able to have access to people just on my phone and see what they have to say, it's gonna be, that's gonna be cool to see.
Oh.
I can't believe it's coming out.
I know.
Now. It's so crazy.
November 15th, and some of you are shopping early, some of you are shopping right now, that you're able to grab the album, release it on November 15th. We've shared some incredible songs for you so far, Somebody Else's, Bouquet. Now we're going to share with you Swallow My Tears. But before we get there, I want to give Gwen the opportunity to share with you, because it's an emotional song.
It is, for sure. This is the thing. Sometimes you're going through something really bad, right? We all have to. We have to suffer. There's no way, we're not getting out alive,
Right.
guys. Sorry, I didn't make that statement, but it's the truth. And I remember last year, it was actually a year ago, October, it was gonna be my birthday. October 3rd is my birthday. And I got the opportunity to go to Hawaii and do a show, right? And I was like, oh yeah, I don't want to celebrate my birthday. I don't care, who cares? Let's just get that week over with, and I'm just gonna go get a pile of money and come home. I'll be good. And so I'm on the plane on the way there, and I had this PTSD trigger. It can happen, right? Mm-hmm. And I started spiraling, and I got to the Four Seasons Hotel. I was literally in the penthouse, overlooking the beach, and it was 3 days of crying. One of those really, it happens. We have it.
Absolutely.
And so after that, I was telling you that I got the writers that I had been hanging out with and writing a bunch of songs with, and I was like, you guys have to come to Oklahoma. You have to come. We're gonna do a writing session, and you can come to our house and the ranch, and we'll just write like hippies, And so it happened. They came, and it was right after that, and we wrote "Swallow My Tears." And so again, I had to go through that to write that song. And for me, the song is really about how the past, you think sometimes you're done, you're healed, and it can be so disappointing to find out that you're not done with that yet. You know what I mean? And you need to like figure out how to get to the other side. And luckily for me, I have the music outlet, so that helps me, you know. And also sharing it, like being even here, just talking about it, sharing it, and like then when somebody else might hear the song, they're like, oh my gosh, that's so my life, you know. That's my favorite. That's like my favorite thing ever when that happens.
Yeah, connecting with people that you may have not even ever met before, but you're changing their life.
Yes.
Love that. Okay, so here's your chance to listen into Swallow My Tears.
Speed.
Swallow my tears.
Wait for me, wait for me.
Holding.
There you go, start.
Swallow my tears. Take one. Mark.
The past keeps chasing me around. I thought I lost it, but then it found me like it always does, and dragging me back to who I was. And I'm running, but not from you. I stay one step ahead of the pain. I keep an umbrella when there's no rain. I got my guard up when there's no war. Don't know what I'm fighting for. Give me a second, I need to swallow my tears. I promise, I promise, I promise, I want you here. I want you here. Just let me swallow my tears. Looking for God, I'm praying, kneeling. Had to go and do some healing. Sorry I was ghosting you, but what was I supposed to?
You can really tell having the live band when you recorded that, how it really, it takes you even to a deeper place, if that's even possible, with the lyrics.
I agree. And I think that is just coming from like, I don't know, like, again, human beings, you know what I'm saying? So like at the end of the day, like don't get me wrong, like I love a dance record, like I love electronic drums and programming and computers, and like sometimes I'll go in and sing and they'll be like, no, we got it. And I was like, no, I just like did 2 takes. Like, no, I gotta really sing it. Then no, we got it. We just put it together. But this was literally us like sitting around and everybody putting their energy into it, like what they heard, you know what I mean? And a lot of the inspiration came from probably childhoods, like music I listened to in the 70s, like on the way to church in the station wagon, like, okay, my mom turning around going, why do you know like every one of these songs? I think we call it like classic rock or, you know, soft rock or whatever. And that's like very live with the background vocals and like, you know, just the kind of instrumentation that we used on this record is really familiar to that time period, like 70s singer-songwriter, earthy. I don't know how to describe, trying to find words.
I love it. I know we're in our final moments. Feel free to jump in at any moment to pick up the CD. Don't forget that the vinyl is also available too. I think I just love this photo of her so much, right?
Thank you.
So pretty. So the cover is exclusive here at HSN. The actual color of the vinyl itself is also exclusive here at HSN. I mean, 10 incredible records. It's like picking children. I could never ask you which song is your favorite, but which song would you say really represents who Gwen Stefani is right now?
That's really impossible. I would say the one song that I feel like I'm proud of all the songs, but one song that I feel like is resonating with other people is a song called Pretty. Mm-hmm. And it's like a song about like your inner beauty plus your outer beauty and how you see yourself. And for me, I always look back at like that little girl in the mirror in the gym in 8th grade and looking and going, am I cute? Like I can't tell. Like you're trying to figure it out at that point. Yeah. And then really looking back through all of like my whole career and going, when did I like myself? You know what I'm saying? And I really truly believe that when Blake started loving me and I got to feel what love was like for the first time is when I look at those photos, I'm like, that is where I peaked. Like, that's it. And I think it's so true because somebody can show you and reflect what they're seeing in you by loving you. And so that song is really just about that, about being loved, and what that how that makes you feel beautiful, you know?
Absolutely. I can see that in you as well. And I'm sure so many people who love you. I mean, truly, I mean, and you are so well deserving of it.
Thank you.
I mean, you truly, every woman deserves to feel pretty and loved, and you deserve it so much.
Thank you.
And, I was listening to an interview that you did a little bit earlier, and you were talking about getting your song, I'm Just a Girl, with no doubt played on the radio.
Yes.
And I mean, how did you push through those no's early on?
I was floating through. I wasn't pushing anything. I was just kind of like, woo. You know, I wasn't a big dreamer. You know what I mean? I didn't really think, there was no way we were going to get on the radio. And that's, I think, what made it so special, because there was no rules, right? Like, you could just make up, wear whatever you want, and do whatever you want, say whatever you want in the music. There was no grammar, spelling, nothing. It was just like, I'm just going to be. And we did it because we were